following video is one of 2 recordings from the Herd Health Management Seminar presented by the University of Florida IFAS South Florida Beef Forage Program on Thursday, April 21st, 2022 at the UF IFAS Extension Polk County's Stuart Center in Bartow. The 2022 Herd Health Management Seminar is sponsored by Merck Animal Health. Sponsors like Merck Animal Health help make extension programming possible by offsetting expenses. The Herd Health Seminar is an educational program focused on health management practices in the beef cattle herd. The information shared during these programs can offer tools to producers in their health management decisions. Herd health is only part of an overall management system that includes nutrition, genetics, and reproductive management. Each of these is key to the success of a beef cattle operation.
My take is on what is in that superior data. But I think what you need to understand is when you look at all that data that was in there, what you have to determine is, okay, if it was $50 more for a batch 45 calves, not do that for $50, okay? So you have to make those decisions. All this data is showing you what the national average is, and it can change in your area, okay? But here's what we do know. These things will just about make you money every time, okay? Balanced nutrition. The better you feed them, the more nutrition they've got, the more they're apt to gain to their genetic potential, right? I mean, nutrition is highly important. It will cover a lot of sins, nutrition will. And then when you look at the tight calving distribution, that's probably one of the biggest things too with Superior that I don't know that was really brought out here is the tighter you have that calving distribution, the more even you are when you go to sell low block calves. And what these buyers are looking for is uniformity, right? They don't like a lot of variation, and you saw that. And you saw that in not only the flesh, but you saw that also in just the groups. They don't like mixed load groups. They like either steers or heifers, right? They want everything as uniform as possible. And if you tighten up that calving distribution, then you've got a better chance of getting everything fitting about the same weight, and they're a lot more uniform. That drives value, in my opinion. Vaccination programs. Vaccination programs are driving value because this is what the feedlot people, the backgrounders, that's what they're demanding. Okay, because these cattle are getting high enough now that they can't just go out and say, I'm going to gamble on this, okay? They need to know that these vaccination programs have been done and done correctly, okay? Let me say that again, done and done correctly, all right? There's a difference between doing them and doing them correctly. It's knowing that your vaccine was handled correctly, you vaccinated the animal correctly. You know, I guess my point is, I don't think we make, as an industry, enough about BQA. How many people in here are BQA certified? Good. If you're not, I would encourage you to become BQA certified, okay? If you get down past what's in here as far as money-wise, if you think about it, BQA is the cattleman's way of saying to the public, look, we know what we're doing and we did it in a safe way. The product I'm producing is good for my family and good for your family, and I did it in a safe way, okay? The product I'm producing is safe for your family as well as mine. Implants. We're going to look at some data here in just a minute on the implants. But the thing about an implant is this. In the cow-calf segment, there is oodles and oodles and oodles of data that will show that it's about 24, 25 extra pounds is what you're going to get out of an implant that calf on the cow. That's year in, year out. That's a good year, that's a bad year. That's all of them across, right? So whatever program that you're selling through, like if you're doing the NHTC or GAP or whatever, what you need to do is figure out, can I sell that animal and do that for whatever, quote, premium they say that it may bring, right? And if you can't, you may be better off to say instead of not implanting, I may need to implant because I really can't take advantage of some of these other programs. Now, the other programs are great. And if you can take advantage of it, fine. But if you can't, you need to do things that you know will have the best chance of returning a return on your investment, right? That are making you money. Parasite control. That's really where I'm at. I'm not a board certified parasitologist, but I like parasitology. And Lord knows in the great state of Florida and the great state of Mississippi where I'm from, we're blessed with more than plenty of worms, right? So, to me, you gotta get parasite control right, okay? If you get parasite control right, you got a whole lot better chance of being profitable. But to me, these things right here are what I would say are drivers of profitability and efficiency. The implants make you more efficient or make that animal more efficient. And when you stop and look at things as a whole, efficiency is a driver of profitability. It's a huge driver of profitability. This was in the slide set that was sent to me, but implanted calves bring less money. That is actually a myth, okay? And this is the data that's coming out of Superior. If you look at this is about a 10-year span, okay? And if you look at it, at no time did the non-implanted calf bring more money than the implanted calf, okay? And also, if you look at it too, most of the buyers that get these calves, unless they're in some sort of certified program, are gonna be implanting them after you sell them, okay? So the question becomes, do you take advantage of it or does somebody else take advantage of it? If you can be in a program that guarantees you that you're going to get paid for at least 25 pounds that's not there on that animal, you might want to take advantage of it. But if there's a doubt, if you're not in a certified program or a verified program, you're probably going to be better off to implant. That's my take. Would you like to say a word on that?
Absolutely right.
So when we look at these programs, like I said, this is all the stuff, okay? The marketing programs that are out there, the NHTC, the Certified Natural Plus, Progressive Genetics, and these GAP programs, there's an expense to doing those, okay? Now that expense varies, and I can't tell you what it is, okay? All I can tell you is you need to research that, and if you can play in those games, it's probably a pretty good place to be. But if you can't, you need to determine that. But one of the biggest things that's going to tell you whether you determine it is knowing what your production cost is. And if you don't know what that is, that's probably the first thing you ought to be doing before you ever decide to get one of these programs, is actually determining what it actually costs me per calf basis to produce that animal. So this is the value added help. This is just value added with the VAC 45 programs. They may be in some other program as well, but if you look at that, like I said, you saw this a while ago, the VAC 34 produces about $15.50 over what just say a regular VAC 24 calf would be, okay? Well, VAC 45, about $45, $46, VAC 60 is 47, about 50, and a VAC Precon, which would be another about a $50 bill as well, okay? The whole deal is what you have to do is figure out what your production cost is, and can I play in that area knowing this is probably going to be what around the area that I'll get. Now, what's going to make the other difference on that? Obviously, it's going to be the quality of the calf, okay? And like I said, this is what was shown before. Things that made no different, days until delivery from the sale date, okay? Implant status. You just saw a slide in there that had 3 million ahead of the database that showed that there was no difference. There is no difference in that. Now, there might be when you get into a different marketing program. But there again, there's a cost to that. Bangs vaccination didn't seem to make any difference in whether they were PI free. I wanted to talk just a second about the PI deal, okay? While it may not make a difference in the price of that animal, it doesn't mean that PI testing is not necessary or won't make you money. Because actually a PI test in a cow-calf herd is probably going to make you more money than anybody because of the things that BBD can do to that herd. That's a whole other talk, a whole other day. So basically, all I wanted to say was that, look, a lot of different things add track value to that, right? The amount of flesh, what breed are they, the horns, weight variation, all those things affect what you're going to get for that animal. And you need to be looking at the whole market as a whole, is what I would tell you, okay? Programs that can add significant value, the natural plus the gap, preconditioning programs, you know, the implant programs, understand the cost of these programs, the extra weight that you can get from these programs, and then you have to decide, can I play in that field? Can I produce what they're asking for under what the projected premium would be? That's what I would say. That's it. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah.
I agree with it. These prices, the way they're broke out. Usually the good cattle have a cumulative effect. They may belong, they may be even, they may have the right genetics, they may have a vaccination program and all that. So if they collect all those along, they might have the 45, the VAT 45 in that, what the dollar.
Most of the time, the better cattle are going to be in those programs.
Well, what Superior's done is broke those down individually.
That's correct.
So it's a cumulative effect. If you have good genetics, good health, good
Yeah.
implant strategy, all
It's
of
the
the
whole,
nutrition.
it's the whole deal, okay? You're correct. It's the whole deal. Yes, sir.
The implant data that you had up there was based on that 550-pound sale price?
No, the implant data that I showed was based over about 10 years.
No, I know, but the weight of the calf at sale was 550 pounds thereabout, right?
Yes.
If you sell your calves or if you market them at 350, do you get enough benefit from an implant?
So if you're marketing at a lighter weight, will you get, so the implant, like ours is brow growth, okay? That implant pays out over 90 days. So if you've got 90 days from the day that you implant that calf, you sell it, you're gonna get the benefit of the implant. If you've got the nutrition to support it. That the answer to your question?
Yes, sir.
And you know, when we're talking about
I've got a
implants.
question about that.
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, the 24-pound per head average is on a 550-pound calf or 300? You're not saying that calf, when you vaccinate him or implant him at 300 pounds, that you're gonna achieve another 25 pounds in 90 days?
Shipped him at the same day.
If you shipped him at the, go ahead, you probably ought to answer this.
Well, it's if you have, say you ship first of September, which we a lot of us do. So say we ship that calf at the same time every year, you've done it for years and years and years. If you did not implant that calf, he's gonna be 24 pounds lighter at the day of shipping. Now, you could hold him over, go ship longer, and he'll eventually catch up that 550 pounds. But it'll be 525, that's what they're saying, that's what the data shows. That's
Yeah,
the
so if you give him a raw at 300 pounds, he's not gonna achieve that 25 pounds in 90 days. It's gonna be over the length of.
No.
No, it's as long as that implant's lasting.
Implant lasting.
So at day 90, it's done. He's done gaining what he's gonna gain.
No matter what weight.
No matter what. Now, like the theory, a lot of veterinarians say, if you take testosterone from him when you castrate him, give him something to replace it. We've talked about different weights, like some of these ranches are re-vacking now, giving 2 rounds when they're on the cow. When's the best time to get that implant? Do we give it when he weighs 250 pounds, or do we give it to him when he's weighing 350, 400? You know, and I think that depends on what day you mark and brand to what day you revac, and then is it 60-day difference and a 90-day from revac to shipping? You know, that's a management thing. That's what you have to look at.
Genetics play into that too.
Absolutely. Genetics, geographic. Do you have grass? Are you dry in the spring? Or are you gonna be underwater in July? You know, just a lot of different things that can impact that. You know, if you worm that calf properly, you know, if he's parasite loaded. So
Very good answer. And I would concur. The thing that's you're gonna get the good out of the implant. Most all calf implants that are on the market today, you're gonna get the biggest bang for your buck in the first 30 days after you get it, okay? Every one of them has a different payout period, but the biggest bang comes within that first 30 days. So if you're thinking about re-implanting or doing something like that, you need to be looking at, one, does that animal have the genetic potential to do it? And two, do I have the resources to support the extra weight gain, okay? Like I said, an implant is just a driver of efficiency, is what they are. Any more questions?